Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to day 3 of the garden series. Let's talk about something real. What's eating your fruit? See, every garden has its intruders, and sometimes it's cows. Now, I don't mean literal cows, though shout out to the ranchers and homesteaders out there. I mean the ones that wander into your life without permission. They might seem harmless at first, a text, a habit, a memory, but next thing you know, they're grazing on your peace, nibbling your joy, trampling the very ground you've been working so hard to heal and grow. Cows represent the people, distractions, and patterns that don't belong in your sacred space. They're not always aggressive, but they don't know how to honor your garden unless you build a fence. All right, so we'll start the day off with our Bible verse. We got Matthew chapter 7, verse 6 says, "Do not give dogs what is holy, and do not throw your pearls before swine." Listen, your garden is holy ground. Your peace is a pearl. Not everyone deserves access to it. And I know this may get a little repetitive this week maybe, but ain't going to hurt nothing. They're good principles, and I'm doing it for myself anyway, so. Yep. So yeah, not everyone deserves access to your garden. Your pearls. Epictetus taught, keep your attention focused on what is truly your own concern. That means you don't have to chase every cow. You don't need to control the neighbor's pasture, but you do need to fence yours in. And then you can't blame the neighbor either if your stuff ain't fenced up. It ain't the neighbor's fault. That's your fault. It's not the cow's fault. It's your fault. Cow's going to be a cow. You can only control yourself. You can't control the cow. So control your stuff and quit trying to blame the whole world around you and take accountability. Let's see, the Buddha said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. So when your garden's in chaos, don't just look out, look in. Did you leave the gate open? And that goes back to, I can only control myself. I mean, yeah, the outside world's going to have an influence and it's going to have an effect. But I can't control that. What I can control is myself and my garden. And so don't leave your gate open. And if you do, take accountability and it's not always going to be your fault, but even if it's not your fault, you can't control the outside source. So what can you do to help alleviate that as much as possible? Not quite, but so even though I can't control the outside source and I can only control myself, what can I do to eliminate the impact that the outside source is going to have on me, right? Sorry, I'm a little behind this morning because so we're going off the fly on some of this. And so that was the Buddha. Next, we got our Bruce Lee. Absorb what is useful, discard what is not, add what is uniquely your own. So if it's eating your fruit, cut it off. You're the warrior, you're the gatekeeper. And it's up to you, what you're going to absorb and what you're going to discard and how you're going to make it your own, because that's the other thing too, we're all different. So necessarily what works for me is not going to work for everybody else. But I'm just sharing my experience here. So, just for today, my sober warriors, I will not let what I cannot control rob me of what I can grow. Let the cows moo. Let them walk by, but don't let them in. And the cows are always going to be there. I mean, even out here in the middle of nowhere, the cows are everywhere. You can't get away from them. Brené Brown, and nailed it. Daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves even if it disappoints others. So you don't have to explain why you need peace. Love grows in fenced gardens. And you don't always have to explain yourself. And sometimes I need time, and so, people need to respect that. Like, I need some time. I need to think it out. Because especially when you're caught up in the heat of the moment, it's easy to say hurtful, hateful, mean things because, that's just where you are. And so sometimes I gotta walk away, walk it off, think till my head comes back clearly, get the fog out of my garden, so to say. And so there's nothing wrong with that either. Sometimes you don't need to explain yourself to people. I need some time. I need some space. And if they can't respect that, then I don't know. I'd have to think about it a bit. But anyways, so today's challenge: don't respond right away to text, to drama, to guilt trips, to chaos. Just pause. Practice space before reaction. Hang a wind chime or a bell near your garden. So I know we already did that one, and I'm kind of... But, hang a wind chime or bell near your garden or front door. Let it be your spiritual alarm, a reminder that this space is yours to tend, not theirs to take. And I think somehow I messed up my thing today, but I wanted to do plant rosemary or lavender near your entrance or gate. Both are protective herbs in feng shui, and they repel unwanted energy, just like the fence metaphor. Plus, they smell amazing. Yeah, so I think that's the one I was supposed to use today. And so the Tao Te Ching says, those who stand on tiptoe do not stand firm. You don't need to overextend to prove your worth. Be rooted. Oh, so I was just off to, okay. So word of the day: fortify. Say it with me. Fortify. I'm learning to fortify my peace with healthy boundaries. Yes, you are. And apparently I didn't write down the definition. Fortify. To protect, to prepare and protect for encroaching enemies, maybe something like that. I don't know. I'm pulling this out of my head now. So yeah, fortify. Do it. Garden tip: crushed eggshells around your plants keep out soft-bodied pests and enrich your soil. Helps add calcium. Really good for tomatoes, help prevent blossom end rot. But like your boundaries, they protect and nourish. Prep tip: keep a small stash of protein, not out of fear, but for readiness. A garden grows better when a gardener is prepared. Plus, protein's always good if you want to start getting into shape. And yeah. Trivia time, working out. Trivia time: what plant closes its leaves before rain? And that answer will be tomorrow. And then we need to answer the one from yesterday. Yeah, see, I was not prepared today. This happens sometimes, Yeah, so we'll have to... I can't even remember what I asked yesterday. Oh, yeah, bugger. So, okay, well, I'll get back to you on that trivia. I'm messing it up hard today, and we're almost at 10 minutes, and I don't think anyone even listens this long. So, joke of the day. Well, I know Michael does because he likes this joke of the day. What did the boundary fence... Or no. It's not the boundary fence. Why did the scarecrow win an award? Because it was outstanding in its field. Whatever, dude. Get out of here. Forget about it. So here's take a moment, breathe, ask yourself, what boundaries do I need to reinforce to protect my peace and my fruit? You've planted with intention, you've watered with effort. Now it's time to fortify. Because peace doesn't come from the outside, it grows from the inside. And you've been planning for that. Planting, not planning, you've been planting for this. Right? I like a little pun here and there. So yeah, just ask yourself, what boundaries do I need to reinforce to protect my peace and my fruit? Yeah, and we'll address this. We still got a couple more days here. We'll wind this up towards the end of the week, but it's going somewhere. Trust me. Even though I know it's repetitive, thanks for bearing with me. But we're over our 10 minutes. We'll see you tomorrow, and thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a great day. You're amazing people. Much love. Peace out.